Hey Ron. Okay, so it's quick update. Lately, Brunei Darussalam has been seeing no new cases of COVID, and this is really something really good for us. What's been happening is the past few weeks, restrictions on social distancing and on safety measures, precautionary measures have been lifted. I think it's either last week or last 2 weeks. Restrictions on sports activities and sports centers have been allowed, so people can actually start their sports. I do want to play badminton or do you want to play bowling. For me, it's bowling. And this week, further restrictions have been lifted from previously 30%. Now you can have 60%. So this weekend, I'm spending a bit of time and trying to get myself ready for next week. Yeah, it sounds funny that you have to be ready or prepare yourself for next week. So I want to be ready so that when the time comes next week, I'm not like a lost soul trying to sort out through this thing, especially with the Brew Health. Join me this weekend while I share with you some of the things that I think we all need to reconsider before enjoying next week. Let's look at that. Let's look at how we should be ready first before going all out. So if you go through the press release yesterday that was published, it was released, it touched several areas. So I'm just gonna broadly run through. They lifted some restrictions on restaurants, which now they can have 60% capacity as opposed to 30% last week. Sports facilities, they also can have 60% capacity in those spots. Contact sports and tournament play not allowed. Still, that's alright. The other thing that was announced was Mosques and Suraus. So previously it was only allowed for Friday mass prayer. Now our daily prayers, we can now pray in the mosque. Again, all of these are with precautions. Standard precautions apply. So if you want to know more, I'll share a link in the description below, so you can just go through them. Introductions aside, let me now share with you some things that I believe we all need to consider. Number 1, get your Brew Health app updated. If you don't have your Brew Health app, then download one. If your phone can't use Brew Health app, then you go to the website and get yourself a code. I think by now, if your phone can use it, your family members might have phones. As a family member, I can add my father, my sister as a family member. So when we go out to restaurants or we go out to shops, I can scan in my name, then I change the account and I can scan in on their behalf on my phone. So all this talk about my phone is not compatible, yes, that's legit, but there's so many way around it. So be sure before moving on to next week or by Monday, you have your Brew Health app installed or a walk around it. There's no more this talk about I don't have Brew Health, I'm not compatible, I don't want to do. Don't. Just do it. Just do it. Second thing on things that you need to prepare yourself for is your sanitizing game. So we in Brunei have been very complacent. Seriously guys, trying to see whether people will tagur kau, like, okay, are they gonna like say something? Are they gonna stop me? If they're not, I'm just gonna not wash my hands. Myself, I keep one at home and I keep one in the office. Sanitize, do it. We also need to have masks on us. So if you don't have a collection or set of masks at home, just get one box. Just keep one box for the house, because a lot of these restrictions, though they've been lifted, they require you to still maintain hygiene, wear a mask. So if you don't have a mask, buy a box. You don't have to break the bank. Yeah? Number 3. So mosques and suraus are now open for our daily prayers. Previously, it was just Friday mass prayers. Now they're open on our daily prayers are allowed in the mosques and suraus. So facilities who've got suraus, you can actually open your suraus, but with precautions. So now, what does it mean to us as people who use these facilities? Masks, sanitizers, and of course your own prayer mat. Bring your own prayer mat. Buy one. Just go buy one. Why not just buy a prayer mat tikar sembayang, or sejadah as you may call it, and just keep it on you at all times. Keep it in your car. So if you just happen to want to pray, you can. Otherwise, they'll turn you away. Check the MBW website for Brew Health, the Brew Health app, and read through. Make sure you know your stuff. Last but not least, number 4, sport facilities, indoor sports facilities, general sports facilities, they're all open now. Of course with restrictions, but still they're open as opposed to last week. Going back to being active in sports or whatever you are interested in, make sure that your equipment and the stuff that you use are clean. Like for example, if you run every week, of course you make sure your shoes are clean, right? You do wash your shoes, right? Your socks. So like me, I'm going bowling. I need to make sure that all my equipment are clean, wiped down, my shoes, my socks. I think I'm just gonna get myself a pair of new, fresh, clean socks for my bowling. Make sure your shoes are clean, dry it out under the sun just to kill all that odor and all the bacteria. You don't want to be caught on the first day of bowling and then everything is dirty. You had the whole 2 to 3 months to clean this whole thing and you didn't do it. In terms of sports activities, they lifted restrictions. Previously, it was 30 capacity for bowling and for some indoor sports. Now, they allow for 60%. Still, no team play, no tournament play. It's just general play, general game lah. You need to use your own equipment. These bowling balls and these bowling shoes are usually on rental basis. You can rent them at the center. Unfortunately, sharing of equipment is a no-no. So if you don't have equipment, then the centers or someone needs to find a way around that. Your equipment have been in storage for so long, God knows what is conjuring up in that bag. So just air it out, clean it up before your next game. So Brunei is in an iski mode, very excited because restrictions are being lifted. They can finally have slightly more freedom in going out, eating out, hanging out with friends. It's all good. But we must not be complacent. Let us play our role as good citizens of Brunei Darussalam, rakyat Brunei, and abide by the rules. Follow the regulations. Don't try to just make your own rules and say, no, COVID's no longer around. You don't have to follow these restrictions. Don't be that guy. My name is Danny. This is my Brunei Weekend. Just random things I do and I talk about over the weekend. And since we're moving back to lifting restrictions and being able to do sports again, I am iski about that. See ya!